Hi everyone. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're tackling a big and important job, replacing the steering rack on a Lexus RX350. This is a crucial component of your vehicle's steering system. If you've been experiencing loose steering, strange noises when turning, or a persistent power steering fluid leak, a failing steering rack might be the culprit. This repair can seem daunting, but we'll walk you through each step carefully. Our goal is to make this complex task understandable and achievable for you. Let's get started and restore that precise steering feel to your Lexus. First and foremost, safety is paramount. Always wear appropriate personal protective equipment, including safety glasses and gloves. Ensure your vehicle is parked on a level surface. Chock the rear wheels. Use a reliable jack to lift the front of the vehicle. Always secure it firmly on sturdy jack stands. Never work under a vehicle supported only by a jack. Disconnect the negative terminal of your car's battery to prevent any accidental electrical issues, especially with airbag components. Before you begin, gather all your necessary tools and parts. You will need a new steering rack for your Lexus RX350, a complete metric socket and wrench set, a torque wrench for accurate tightening, a pry bar, a fluid drain pan, new power steering fluid, ensure it's the correct type for your Lexus, a breaker bar for stubborn bolts, and a tie rod end puller or separator. Penetrating oil will be very helpful for rusted bolts. We begin by preparing the vehicle. Once the front is safely on jack stands, remove the front wheels. Inside the car, locate the steering shaft connection. This is usually found under the dashboard, near the pedals. It connects the steering column to the steering rack. Use a marker or paint pen to mark the exact orientation of the steering shaft to the rack's pinion. This ensures correct reinstallation later. Then, remove the bolt or bolts securing this connection and separate the steering shaft. Next, move back under the car. Place your drain pan. Locate the power steering return line on the rack. Carefully disconnect it and allow the power steering fluid to drain into the pan. You might need to turn the steering wheel lock to lock a few times, with the engine off, to help push out more fluid. Now, we need to disconnect the remaining components. Use your tie rod end puller to separate the outer tie rod ends from the steering knuckles on both sides. Be careful not to damage the dust boots if you plan to reuse them. Disconnect the power steering pressure and return lines from the steering rack itself. Be prepared for more fluid to come out. Unbolt any brackets or heat shields that might be securing these lines or the rack. The steering rack is typically held in place by 2 or 3 large mounting bolts that pass through the subframe. These can be extremely tight. Use your breaker bar for leverage. In many RX350 models, you will need to loosen or slightly lower the subframe to gain enough clearance to remove the old rack. Consult your service manual for specific instructions on your model year. Once all connections and mounting bolts are removed, carefully maneuver the old steering rack out from under the vehicle. This can be a tight squeeze and might require some twisting and turning. It's also heavy, so be ready to support its weight. Once the old rack is out, compare it side by side with your new replacement rack to ensure they are identical and that all necessary components, like bushings or heat shields, are either present or transferred over. Now, guide the new steering rack into its position. Align the mounting bolts and hand tighten them first. Once everything is aligned, use your torque wrench to tighten these mounting bolts to the manufacturer's specified torque settings. Reconnect the power steering pressure and return lines. Use new O-rings if they were supplied with your new rack. Torque these line fittings carefully. Over-tightening can cause leaks. Reconnect the outer tie rod ends to the steering knuckles. Install new cotter pins if applicable and torque the castle nuts. Finally, reconnect the steering shaft inside the car, aligning your marks perfectly, and torque that bolt. With the new rack installed, reinstall your front wheels and lower the vehicle safely to the ground. Refill the power steering reservoir with the correct type of power steering fluid for your Lexus. Start the engine. Slowly turn the steering wheel completely from lock to lock several times. This helps to bleed air out of the system. Check the fluid level frequently and top it off as needed. Continue this process until the fluid level remains stable and you no longer see air bubbles in the reservoir. Listen for any groaning noises, which indicate air is still present. Lastly, and this is critically important, you must get a professional wheel alignment immediately after replacing the steering rack. This ensures your vehicle tracks straight and prevents premature tire wear. That completes the process for replacing the steering rack on your Lexus RX350. It's a challenging but very rewarding repair that will significantly improve your vehicle's handling and safety. Thanks so much for watching our video today. If you found this guide helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more DIY car repair tutorials and maintenance tips. Your support helps us create more content like this. We appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next video.